Let's begin in a comfortable seated position. However that looks in your body right now is fantastic. Sit up nice and tall. And let's take a little mudra today, since we are focusing on balance. And we're going to bring your left hand into your lap with the palm facing up, and then the right hand rests on top of the left hand, bringing the pads of the thumbs to touch. Feel the space between the pads of the thumbs. And as you inhale, follow the breath from the right thumb up the right arm, through the elbow, the upper arm to the shoulder, and then across to the heart center. Then exhale, taking the breath through the left shoulder down the left arm, all the way to the pad of the left thumb. And begin to create this circular experience of breath, inhaling up the right arm and across to the heart center. Exhaling from the heart center down the left arm into the pad of the left thumb. So the bottom of the exhalation is here where the thumbs touch, the top of the inhalation at the heart center. And we'll take a few rounds of breath in this way. Two more. Inhaling up the right arm. Pausing at the heart center. Exhaling down the left arm. Pausing where the thumbs meet. Inhale up the right arm. Pausing at the heart center. Exhale down the left arm. Pausing where the pads of the thumbs meet. Take a deep breath in. Feel it move straight up the spine to the crown of your head. And exhale with a sigh. Check in with yourself. Check in with your body. Check in with your breath. Check in with your headspace, your mood, your attitude. Notice how you feel. May this practice offer a sense of balance, a sense of grounded, rooted steadiness, body, mind, and spirit. And if you'd like, bring your hands in front of your heart and join me in one round of Om. Taking a deep breath in. Om. Om. Peace. Peace. Allow your eyes to blink open. Let's start by lying down onto your back. Just draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze and a little rock side to side. And then taking the arms out wide. And take a deep breath in. And exhale, allow the knees to melt over to the right. Left shoulder heavy. Full breath in and out. Feeling the compression on the right side, the stretch through the left side. Breathing into both evenly. Deep breath in. And exhale, bring the knees back through center. Give yourself a squeeze. Arms come back out wide. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, knees melt over to the left. Excuse me, right shoulder heavy. Full breath. Balance postures allow us to practice making peace with the fluctuations. Sort of a little metaphor there for real life. Exhale, knees come back through center. Give yourself a squeeze. And then set the feet down. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Keep the right foot gently engaged as though you're pressing it against a flat surface. Take the heel of your right hand and get it right up there into your hip crease and press forward. So you begin to manually create some space in your right hip. Take a full breath. Slow exhalation. This may be plenty. If it's available to you, lift the left foot up off the ground. You can gently rock here, right to left. Interlace the fingers behind the left hamstring. Draw it in, sleeping pigeon. Full breath in. Slow breath out. Rooting the back of the head down, shoulders down. One more deep breath here. Good. And then setting the left foot down onto the ground. Take the right leg up into the air. Give it a little shake. Shake, shake, shake. Circle the ankle a few times in both directions. Let the right knee bend. Just pull the right knee in towards your belly. A little squeeze here and stretch the left leg out long. Flexing the foot, pushing through the ball of the foot. Inner thighs spinning in and down. Breathing into the compression here on your right side. Good. And then bend your left knee, foot back onto the ground. Put the right foot down. Take the feet to the width of the mat and gently windshield wipe the knees right and left. Just a few times to loosen up and release any tension in the hips and the low back. And you may notice right away that your right hip feels a little happier than your left. So let's balance that out. Bring the feet back to hip width apart. And cross your left ankle here over your right thigh, just below the knee. Keep the foot gently engaged. We don't want the ankle to sickle. We don't want the knee to torque, right, in any attempt to stretch through the hips. heel of the left hand right up into the left hip crease. Press forward, manually creating space. And imagine you had a little lung here in your left hip that you could inflate. Imagine a balloon, if that's more accessible. Deep breath. And exhale slowly. Again, this could be plenty for you. You stay here and breathe, especially if your low back is cranky today. If it's available, lift the right foot up off the ground. Little rock, side to side. Exploring micro movements. And then interlace the fingers behind the right hamstring. Draw it in, sleeping pigeon. Full breath. One more. Slide the shoulders down, root into the back of the head. And then let the right foot come down to the ground slowly. Take the left leg up into the air. Give it a little shake, 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 shake. Circle the ankle a few times in both directions. Bend the left knee, drawing it in. If it's available, stretch the right leg out. Pressing through your heel, inner thigh rooting down, breathing into the compression between the left side of your belly and your left thigh. One more deep breath here. And bending the right knee, bring the left foot back down onto the ground, take the feet wide again, and we will windshield wipe right to left and see if now your hips feel a little more balanced. Moving back through center, draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a squeeze, a little rock. You can either roll to one side or take a few rocks up and down the length of the spine and find your way back to a comfortable seat. So maybe if when we sat earlier, you were sitting in one specific way, go ahead and switch that so you bring balance into the seat. So I had my left heel on top of my right thigh, so I'm going to switch and bring my right heel right up here into my left hip crease and set the knee down. And this is half lotus. Come back to this mudra. The left hand rests in the lap, right hand rests atop, pads of the thumbs together. And let's take 3 rounds of this breath, beginning at the pads of the thumbs, inhaling up the right arm into the heart center, exhaling down the left arm into the pads of the thumbs. Two. One. Inhale and reach your arms up, interlace the fingers, press the palms up toward the ceiling, take a deep breath here. And exhale, left hand down, right arm arcs over into the lateral stretch. Inhale through center, moving slowly. Exhale, right hand down, left arm arcing over. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, left hand down, arc over. Remember, the arm is really secondary here. Inhaling. It's much more about the movement here, this lateral movement, than anything happening in your arms. One more on each side. Take a twist to the left. Inhale, reaching up. A twist to the right. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, drawing the hands into the heart center. Come up onto your hands and knees now. Bring your knees to the width of the mat and the big toes to touch. If it's available, you can sit all the way down onto your bottom. If that's too much flexion in your knees, don't worry about it. And walk yourself forward into a child's pose. But keep this active, and we'll use this to find the correct or sort of most aligned position for the hands and the feet in downward facing dog. So here in an extended child's pose, this is just about the distance. This is where you want your hands to be and where you want your feet to be in your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Slow exhalation. Lift up. Now, keep everything about the same. Just bring the knees in and the feet out. Turn your toes under. Bottom back. And lift your hips up and back. And it will probably be much longer than you may normally take in your downward facing dog. Buckle the floor between the hands. Pedal the heels back one at a time. And then start to walk your toes forward. And then start to bring your hands back. Bend your knees. Let your head drop. Coming into a forward fold. Hold on to opposite elbows and sway. And then drop the arms down, bend the knees even more. Rolling up, vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Head comes up very last. Notice your feet. Lift and spread your toes. Feel the ball mounds under the big toes, the pinky toes, and the heels, and root down. Now you're standing on 2 feet. But if you close your eyes and begin to pay attention, you'll notice that you are never entirely still. There is always this slight movement as your body, without any input from you directly, finds balance. The body just seeking out the center of gravity. You might feel yourself rocking forward and back, a little bit right and left. And see if you can find the center of the 3 corners of the feet. So if you imagine the ball mounds under the big toes, the pinky toes, and then the heels as a triangle, see if you can shift your weight so it is landing right in the center of that triangle. And you can keep lifting and spreading your toes. Notice if you're hyperextending in your knees, little bend here to check in. And then engage the front thigh muscles, so the kneecaps lift up gently. Lift the floor of the pelvis, drawing the lower abdominal muscles in. And bring one hand onto your belly and one hand onto your low back. And notice this ability to tilt the pelvis. See if you can find a sense of balance in the pelvis. So it's neither tipping forward or tipping back. This happy, neutral space. Lengthen through both sides of your waist. Draw your shoulders up, back, and down. Inhale and reach the arms up slowly. Exhale, draw the hands into the heart center. Now feel free to move to a wall space or use the back of a chair. And feel all of your weight shifting onto your left foot. And to start, just pick your right foot up. Just pick it up and see what happens. That's it. And then put it back down. Okay, just step side to side a few times. And then shift your attention into the right foot, rooting down. Feel your center of gravity actually shift. Feel your weight shift as though your belly button is now directly atop your right foot. And lift the left foot. It helps to have a drishti, a focal point, something to look at that's not moving. Keep breathing. And then set the left foot down. Now, I'm going to use the wall so that I can demonstrate more the alignment than actually balancing. You can practice balance at home, of course, or use the wall. All the weight will now shift again over the left foot. Pick your right foot up and turn your knee out. So it's pointing directly to the right. You can put the heel right on top of the left foot with the toes pointing out to the right. Feel your hip externally rotating. Draw the belly in. And maybe grow some branches here in this variation of tree pose. Deep breath. Let your branches slowly come down. Now, if you like, trying a kickstand. So the right heel comes to the inside of the right ankle. And you can press the toes down. And this adds a little more challenge. Find your drishti, your focal point, something to look at that's not moving. Deep breath. And then bring the arms, the branches of your tree, back down. Now, maybe bring the right foot below the left knee. Draw the belly in. And you can grow branches here. And remember that balance is never something that we check off the list as done. It is the all-day, everyday reality of our lives. So practicing balance poses can really give you space to contemplate how you manage balance in your life off of the mat. When a big storm comes, are you very rigid and inflexible? Do you get just knocked down right away with the first big gust of wind? Or can you, like a healthy tree, move a little bit in the wind? So ultimately, we are making peace with the fluctuations. And if you fall down, the only thing that matters is that you get back up. So bring the arms down slowly. And if you like, you can hold on to the ankle and pull the foot all the way up into the inner thigh. And I actually like to practice and often teach this full expression of tree pose at a wall space, because When we're just focusing on the balance, we might get into it for a second and sort of hop around and fall down and laugh, and there is benefit there. But this pose is actually a really excellent posture for creating some space here in the hips, for strengthening the standing leg, strengthening the core, drawing the belly in. You firm the inner left thigh and press it into the right foot. At the same time, press the right foot back into the inner left thigh. And feel how that stabilizes things. Deep breath. Maybe a little storm comes. And then slowly let the foot release, knee forward, and set that down. And just step now side to side. You can shake your legs out, shake your arms out. Let that go. And in between sides, I think it feels good to take a forward fold. So let's actually take a wide forward fold. Turn to one of the long sides of your mat and step your feet wide. So maybe it's about a leg's distance between the feet. Hands onto the hips, deep breath in. Exhale, hinge over the hips. You can even take your fingers, push right into your hip creases and start to hinge forward. Keep your weight shifting forward. You could always use blocks underneath your hands or books. The tendency is to let the weight drop into the heels and the bottom sticks out, and we might hyperextend through the knees. So instead, let your weight shift forward and try lifting and spreading your toes again. Let the head drop down, releasing the neck, shaking the head out. Mindful you're not collapsing into the arches or the inner ankle. Soft bend in the knees, hands onto the hips. Use the strength of the legs and the core to come all the way back up to stand. And take a moment. One hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Notice how you feel. Release the arms, heel, toe, the feet together. And then you want to move very mindfully to step to the top of the mat. See if you can do that in just 2 steps. So 1, 2. Reach the arms up. Exhale, hands into the heart. Let's take that balance over onto the right side. Now, most people have one side where balance comes a little easier than the other. And so the instruction is, when you're practicing on your own, to practice the side that is more challenging first, then practice the other side, then practice the challenging side again. And that applies with balance, also with flexibility, with strength. If we're looking to bring balance into the body, which ultimately we are practicing yoga, that's one way to start to bring things a little bit more in line. The truth is, none of us are actually symmetrical, and you weren't stamped out in a factory. You have a dominant side, not dominant side. And so it's very unlikely that anyone is ever going to be perfectly balanced and symmetrical one side to the other. Okay? So let go of any idea of perfection, right? Balance is actually about accepting imperfection. So remember our first variation here. The left toes are turning out, so that would be on a clock, 9 o'clock. Left toes pointing to 9 o'clock, right toes pointing to 12 o'clock. Right? And this is a really lovely variation because you can really focus on alignment, on stability, and on those more subtle shifts. You could even try closing your eyes. Ooh, that changes things. Deep breath. And exhale, let the branches come back down. Okay, we'll Take the kickstand variation. So the heel rests to the inside of the ankle, the toes press down. And again, roll your branches. In tree pose, it's really lovely to actually visualize a tree. Trees are rooted and grounded and strong, but also expansive. And remember, the tree that can move a little bit is the tree that withstands the storm. Release the arms down. You can stay in the variation you're in, or bring the foot just below the knee. So feel your weight shift so the belly button is directly over the right foot. You're pushing down, reaching the arms up. And breathe. Find your drishti, your focal point. Soft gaze. And releasing the arms down. And if you like, we can bring the left foot all the way up into the inner right thigh. Okay. And draw the belly in. Press the knee back so the left knee is pointing straight to the left. And reach the arms up. Full breath. Pushing the inner right thigh into the left foot. Soften the shoulders down. Relax through your jaw. Good. And then releasing the foot, knee forward. Set the foot down. Release your arms. And just step side to side. Shake that out. So in these times of great turbulence and upheaval and change, learning to focus, learning to balance, or at least just practicing can make a huge difference. 2 mindful steps to the top of the mat, hands in front of the heart center. Say to yourself silently, this is a grounded practice. This is a rooted practice. This is a steady practice. This is a balanced practice. Gaze forward, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Swan dive down. Now you don't have to do this. You could just come down onto your mat and lie down. Half lift. Exhale, fold. If you'd like, step back to down dog. Alternatively, step back to tabletop posture. Drop down to the knees if you're in downward facing dog, and turn over. Lie down onto your back. And take a moment here. Notice if there's anything else your body is requesting. Any other shapes, any other movements. And as you're ready, finding your way into Shavasana. Head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Tucking the shoulders underneath the body gently by pressing the back of the head into the earth. Lifting and tucking the shoulders. Palms turn up, toes splay out. You can always use a couch cushion or a bolster or some pillows underneath your thighs if your low back is feeling cranky. You might like to place an eye bag over your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Let it go out through your mouth. Allow your jaw to soften, the teeth to separate, releasing all expression from your face. And as you rest, taking in the words of a poem from Dana Falls, a Kripalu yoga teacher and poet. This is from her book, Go In and In, Poems from the Heart of Yoga. And it is called Setting Forth. Something will be born from this goodbye. In the pain of setting forth, something will die. With the release of the old comes a moment when nothing is firmly held, and the unknown burns the bridges of the past. When the smoke clears, my eyes seek out the new horizon. Nothing is known here, but the air is sweet. And breathing deeply, I see long, dormant seeds send up their shoots from the fertile ground of change. As leaves unfurl to meet the sun, the circle is complete. I will not forget a single step of this sacred journey, nor will I let comfort lock me in its warm embrace. I do not know what fruit these seeds will bear, but I have faith that what is taking root today will surprise me with its vigor. In birth and death, the in-breath and the final exhalation, there is pain and the movement into truth. I take the step that I am called to, even if I do not know the final destination. You always have the option to rest for as long as you like. But if you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, slowly waking up the body. Drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. Rolling over onto your right side, and pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. And we'll return one last time to this mudra, bringing balance into the practice on the whole. This balance between the beginning and the end. Left hand resting in the lap, right hand atop. Pads of the thumbs meet. 3 breaths, breathing up the right arm through the heart center, down the left arm. Bringing the hands in front of the heart center. Dropping the chin to the chest, a gesture of gratitude toward self for taking the time to practice. Om Shanti, 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 Om peace, peace, peace. Jai Bhagwan. Namaste. Thank you for practicing.